Naturi Naughton has definitely made it very clear that she's ready to move on. And her time and her role as playing Tasha on Power will only be in guest appearances. And she might appear in Tommy's series, which shouldn't involve her anytime together. They put her in protective custody so that they can keep her away. Tyreek going with Mary J. Blige, that was the new direction as they basically wrapped up all the characters from the first season of Power and put all that to the side. Now they're going to move forward with the only character really from part one or season one that they cared about, which was Sax. Like, Sax was a character that everybody liked on the show. You know, you love to hate Sax, but him always landing on his feet, no matter what the situation is, Sax is good at what he does. So now, instead of, accepting a job in the private sector, he's back into the mix. But that don't stop Naturi Naughton and everything she's got going on. Now, her and Eve got a new show that's going to premiere on ABC called Queens. Now, the show is about four women. They're in their 40s and they're trying to recapture their fame as part of a girl group called the Nasty Bitches. Naturi Naughton will portray Jill. Jill the Thrill. She's the founding member of the group. She the one that formed the Nasty Bitches with her high school friends Eve, and after dealing with dark secrets despite their lifestyle out in the spotlight, her best friend Brianna and other members of the group, I don't know who the other two are. This is gonna like shadow probably a lot of people gonna think about uh the group that they was in. Cause she came out of a group which was three members, and it was a nightmare for her. And what was it, 3LC or something like that? And all the drama she went through, she could bring that to this series. Was it 3LW or something? I think it was 3LW, something like that. All right. Well, anyway, that's that. And the show is called Queen. So, yeah, 3LW. That was the name of that group. Now, Eve married a billionaire. She was on the talk show The Talk for a while, but she's leaving the talk because she got her a role in a film. She gave up hip hop, once, some news came out about her, and photos about her former stripper life was starting to pop. She just really got out of the business. She had two platinum albums, though. She got a Grammy Award for the collaboration she did with Gwen Stefani for that "Let Me Blow Your Mind." So then I remember Naturi played who was that she played? She played Lil Kim in a Notorious movie. And that was when I first seen her like, whoa, whoa. So before Power, and she was, naked. And I was like, whoa, Notorious. She was just, seemed like every scene, she was like, boobs out. Now, now, when this whole thing came out, Little Kim didn't like the way she was portrayed in the film. She had a major problem with it. So she didn't want to, you know, be around and be the study. Everybody had someone there for their character who they were portraying, except for Notorious, because Kim was not feeling the role at all of how she was being portrayed in the movie. She felt very, let down by that. So, but if you move on to Power, if you go to Power, you see that she's transitioned to acting quite well. And when she got the role for Power, she was out. She had just moved back to the East Coast. She was trying to make it out in Cali and in acting. They tell everybody, you got to get to California. You got to get to California. That's what the roles are. Too far away, you ain't gonna make it. New York, it's not gonna work. New York don't have a lot of roles for stuff. You got to go Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. You got to be in Hollywood. They don't want to have to wait to fly you in and all this stuff. They want you to be able to get there. So it had become a terrible time in the industry, a very terrible time in the industry, where smaller movies were being destroyed in the box office, and people couldn't really get a chance to go out and enjoy the films because they were being swallowed by a storm of superhero big budget films. So what happened was, after the slew of films that were coming out that were in like 2015 that were considered monstrous, people were just staying home and they were watching television at home instead of going to the movies. They would go to the films and watch the big budget films. With the smaller films, they wouldn't even know they were out or wouldn't even care to go out to see them as much. They just would rather stay at home. And television series were becoming the new norm as the streaming was just starting to come out. It wasn't as rampant as it is now. As it was starting to come out, you started to see something change and develop. You started to see there was you started to see that there was some sort of, drawback or some type of error in place where the disconnect from people going to the movies only to watch big budget films was forcing people to put money into television shows and sending things and dedicating things to be directly to the viewer right at home. So that's when television and cable shows started to invest more of their money instead of motion pictures come in there. They want more television series. Television series were bringing more viewers and more repetitive viewership. So Power, the door was open for the Power series to come in so that Naturi Naughton can come through and do this. And this is why Power got the chance it did. And in 2015, it was coming out, the very first season. I knew it was going to be a hit based on who was the starring character. All it needed was the right promotion to get it off its foot. Plus, the writing was good. It was had people vested in what was to come, as they didn't know, as it was an immediate shell game from the very first episode. You didn't know who to trust, what was going on, the whole nine. Now, Michael, who was, I believe, Naturi Naughton's assistant, person that was on the set that was helping her, a guy named Michael, he was very intricate and making sure that her character was not just the girlfriend. You know, he was somebody who was an assistant on like a production assistant on the show Power. He was one that was very intricate in making sure the character of Tasha was standing out. You know, it wasn't so overshadowed by Ghost, but everything was like put in a position where it wouldn't interfere with the other. Now, Eve had a show, her own show, which wasn't that bad. I didn't ever get a chance to see Eve because during the time Eve was out, I was working second shift, so I would miss all those shows all together. That there's so many shows that I didn't even know, or like, man, I forgot about that because I was working. So when you work, you miss all this stuff, and it wasn't any like streaming stuff then, and go back and record it and DVR and all that. So now you get to go back and see the shows, and I remember they had some episodes on. I was like, man, this was actually a pretty good show. You know, the Eve show. Now, how much of I would say is I would say how much is gonna be like the weight is gonna be on Eve or in the group is it's up in the air right now, but I think it's gonna be a great deal like this show. And I don't know if this is part of 50 Cent's deal, like 50 Cent helped put this together, you know, by it being on ABC like he got For Life. I don't know if it's gonna follow For Life, and For Life is incredible. We're gonna start going into that later on as we're now deep in season two. So tell me, what do you think about it? Curious to know about that. Anyhow, I'm out. God bless. Peace.